Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. Brother Billy, he's back again. Want to talk to you about briefly, trying to make these things brief. But I ain't been live in about a week, in about 2 weeks. So I decided I want to go live today. Been working hard in this hot sun, heat. Been tired. But Brother Billy want to share um something with you briefly. And I want to talk briefly about why I won't be participating in any lockdowns, mask wearing, or vaccines that are on the way again. Mhm. I I want to let y'all know why I'm not going to be participating. You know, y'all do know the masks, the lockdowns, the mask wearing, the vaccines. They on the way again. You do know that. Now I just heard that I think it's in Georgia because me and my wife about to go to Georgia, and they better not start nothing crazy over there. But in for the colleges, they have just instituted again the mandatory mask wearing, and so you just need to prepare yourself, um, because it's on the way again. And I want to just briefly tell you why I'm not going to participate. Now, Brother Billy ain't condemning um those of you who choose to mass up, those of you who choose to jab up, those of you who choose to follow every command given by those in authority. Now, if that's what you want to do, you do that. I'm not here to condemn nobody, but I'm gonna let you know why I'm not gonna do it. Because I'm just using some logic. I'm using some, you know, some common sense, and I'm using some judgment based on what those in authority have told us. That's why Brother Billy's gonna find it very hard to obey those lockdowns, mask wearing, and vaccines. I'm I'm gonna find that very hard to submit to. Now, those of you who want to submit, you go ahead and submit. Brother Billy not doing it. And let me be frank. When they institute these mask mandates, and these lockdowns and this mandatory vaccine, all this stuff, when they reinstitute this stuff again, any store, any business, any church, any function, any family function that mandates you have to wear a mask in order to participate in that function, don't invite Brother Billy. I'm telling you, don't invite Brother. If it's a church function and you got to wear a mask in order to go to the church function, don't invite Brother Billy because he ain't coming. Which that's crazy to start off with. That is absolutely insane that the church will mandate a mask wearing for fear of a virus that would make you sick and you're going to need healing. God forbid you need healing and you at the church. I mean, my God, you need healing at the church? God forbid. You can't get sick at the church. You see how insane that is? You got to be masked up at the church for fear of getting sick. Because if you get sick at the church, what we going to do? Who we going to turn to? Who we gonna call on? Why not call on the Lord that healeth thee? See, people, a lot of people gonna have a problem with this, this little talk, but they won't be able to scripturally refute what I'm saying. See, you can get in your feelings and flesh and say, "Oh, there you go. God give us common sense," and you can go around the mountain, but let's get biblical and tell me where I'm off at. Why the church shutting down and requiring people to wear masks at the church? Now, if you want to wear a mask and you go to church, that's one thing. If you want to wear a mask and you go to some business, some function, that's one thing. But for the church to mandate you wear a mask before you can participate and come to the quote unquote house of God, Brother Billy not coming. So just scratch me off your list. Don't invite me because I ain't coming if I got to be masked up. So I'm gonna share with you briefly why I can't participate in this. So if you having some kind of function, you got a business, you got a house party, you got whatever you got going on, and people got to be masked up, don't invite me. If people got to be vaccinated or they can't be around you, your family, your relatives, don't invite me because I'm not coming. And I ain't coming. Not coming. Because I won't be participating in that this year. Didn't participate in it in 2020. Not going to participate in it in 2024. Now, you do realize, and I ain't going to get political, but you do realize why one of the major reasons it's coming back. You do understand because the election is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. But this ain't got nothing to do with the election. This ain't got nothing to do with them wanting to cheat and have you locked down so they can cheat again. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. The mandates and the lockdowns and all that ain't got nothing to do with the election right around the corner. Mandates or not, or all this other stuff going on or not, Trump 2024. They will not be able to cheat and steal this one. Watch. Okay, now let Brother Billy show you why he ain't participating. He not participating. Brother Billy, why are you not going to participate in the lockdowns, the mask wearing, or taking the vaccines to protect you from this new variant that is coming out? Well, first and foremost, because the Bible says in 2 Timothy chapter number 1, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. That's the number one reason why Brother Billy not participating. Because God did not give us, born again believers, a spirit of fear. Now you say, well, what that got to do with being with fear, Brother Billy? If you are walking around with a mask on, if you are driving around in a car by yourself, like I see a lot of people doing, even today, even now, by yourself with the windows wound up with a mask on, God has not given us a spirit of fear. A spirit of fear is on you. Now you can justify all you want why you doing it. If you are driving around in your car, now you got a right to do that. I'm not telling you you can't do that. I'm just telling you why Brother Billy ain't participating. Because if you see somebody driving around in their car, the windows wind up, nobody's in the car with them, and they got a mask on, that they got a spirit of fear on them. Now they will justify and tell you, no, I don't care what they say. They have a spirit of fear on them that God did not give them. That's what Timothy said. God did not give us a spirit of fear. Why? If you wearing a mask, walking around wearing a mask of not wanting to be in contact with people, that's fear. Why are you doing that? Because subconsciously you are fearful you're going to catch COVID. So the mask, wearing the mask, keeps a spirit of fear in your subconsciousness. You walking around just subconsciously in fear. Because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to catch COVID. That mask reminds you that fear is all around you. That's what that mask is. It's a reminder that you're walking in fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and of a sound mind. So if you're walking around in fear of catching COVID, so where'd that come from? Where, saints? Where did that come from? All of you who want to buck up against what I'm saying, where did that come from? If God didn't give it, and you know you're walking around with fear, because I ain't want to catch COVID, I ain't want to get sick, people dying. Well, guess what? It is appointed unto man once to die. After death, the judgment. Newsflash, you gonna die. I'm gonna die. Be ready to meet Jesus when you die. Or because you gonna die and I'm gonna die. So why are we allowing the fear that the world is trying to put on us in order to do what? Control and manipulate you. That's what they did. That's what they accomplished in 2020. They put all of that fear on you. I remember watching CNN. I think it was CNN. They had a death ticker showing. They were showing a death ticker. In other words, they were showing this how much people done died from COVID. They had a death ticker. Every time somebody died, they were showing it on CNN. So if you seeing that, you boy, people just die. They dropping like flies. I mean, and so you just get this, you allow the spirit of fear to attach itself to you. And you can't function. You can't walk in faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. They trying to take you, don't you understand? They trying to take your faith away. The just shall live by faith. I'm not walking in fear of no COVID. I'm not going to do it. Now, whoever listening at this live, whoever, you can do what you want to do. Brother Billy ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm not going to do, and I'm telling you why I'm not going to do it. Because I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I believe the Bible. I ain't perfect. You ain't perfect either. But I believe what God say. He did not give me a spirit of fear. So I'm not going to let them put no spirit of fear on me from no COVID. I'm not going to do it. Now, if that's what you want to do, and let them rob you of your peace, let them rob you of your sleep and everything else. I mean, just rob you blind. Because you so afraid you going to catch COVID, you won't even hug your mama. You ain't want to hug your husband and wife. I see couples in the car mask up. I'm like, ugh. But I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just saying you kind of look that kind of looks kind of crazy to be in a car with a couple or by yourself, mask up and nobody else. That just looks crazy. People go in restaurants. I see it. They come in the door mask up. They mask up. When they enter the restaurant, they mask up. When they sit down, they mask up. When they bring their food, they got to take the mask off to eat. Now I'm thinking, this is what I'm saying to myself when I'm watching them. So whatever you was protecting yourself from, now that you done pulled the mask down, what happened? Did the virus say, oh, she respect us, he respect us, we ain't gonna jump on her, we ain't gonna jump on him because they respect us? You see how insane that is? That's insanity. I'm telling you, that's what fear will do. Fear will have you acting illogical, irrational. So what happened when you took the mask off to eat in the restaurant? You came in there because you were afraid of COVID. Did COVID leave after you took your mask down? You see how insane that is? See, people don't want to hear this, but that's insanity. You know it's insanity. You know that ain't logical. You know that's not rational. But fear will have you acting out of character, out of who God even say you is. Fear. That's what fear will do. Got people acting crazy. Now, so that's number one. That's number one why Brother Billy not participating in no lockdowns. He ain't wearing no mask. Vaccines, he ain't taking no shots. Not taking Zippo. They put a mandate straight across the board. Everybody got a ticket. Now, you do know, let me tell you what I believe. I believe that is coming. I believe that is coming when they're going to mandate across the board. Everybody, not just in America, everybody gonna have to take a shot. I believe that's coming. Well, when that day come, Brother Billy ain't taking none. I don't care what the consequence is. Why are you so stuck? Why are you so resistant to this, Brother Billy? Because this breaking, I've said this and I'll say it again, because it is systematically breaking you down to receive the mark of the beast. But a lot of people don't see the connection. They just think we got to, I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting my family, and I'm doing this. I'm just, you better see the spiritual significance. This thing is systematically breaking your will down. That's what they're doing. They are systematically breaking your will. So when the mark of the beast is introduced, guess what? Where do I sign up? That's going to be many of you who have given in to the spirit of fear, thinking you just being a good citizen. No, you ain't being no good citizen. You being a sheep led to the slaughter. That's what you being. So Brother Billy not doing it. He ain't participating. He not doing it. Only time you gonna catch Brother Billy wearing a mask, Brother Billy got a lawn business, and he wears a face covering when, especially the day I had one on, dust. And guess what? I know when I have this face covering on that it works. Yeah, let me say that again. I know when I'm wearing that face covering, when I'm cutting grass, I know it works. You know how I know it works? Because Brother Billy can blow his nose when he's not wearing that face covering, and he can blow his nose after wearing the face covering. Guess what? Dust comes out of my nose when I'm wearing it and when I'm not wearing it. But not as much dust is able to enter into my nose and lungs when I'm wearing it. I can see the difference when I blow my nose. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you tell me how you know this mask you're wearing protects you from COVID? How you know it's working? Give me some data on how you know it's working for you. I'm waiting on the data. There has been a lot of people doing studies. I'm gonna show. I got some statistics. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you some of the studies that have been done around all these different countries, proven don't work. Masks don't work. Let's get to that, because I tell you I ain't gonna be on here long. I done told you, first of all, is because of what the Bible says. You know, we gotta live by the word first. First and foremost, you live by the word. God didn't give me no spirit of fear. Y'all trying to put fear on me. Y'all trying to make me walk in fear. And if y'all walk in fear, then I'm gonna be subject to what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to make me do. And I don't want that. I don't want to be subject to where you're trying to take me. So that's why I'm going to resist wearing. I'm going to resist the lockdowns, mask wearing, and the vaccines. Because y'all end goal is to get me to submit to the mark of the beast. And I ain't doing that, because that's a one-way ticket to hell. Not doing that. Now, let me show you. Now, let me go to my last reason why. The data. Can I show you that the data, you know, they always talk about the data, the scientific data. Well, they lied to you about the data. You do know that. You were lied to about the data and got a spirit of fear on you and submitted to things that wasn't going to do you no good anyway, whether you did it or not. They censored people for talking like this. You know I'm gonna probably get censored and probably I'm getting kicked off of all this stuff now. You know that, because they're bringing that stuff back. It's coming back, and I think it's coming back with a fury. Because the election around the corner. Now let me show you these liars, these ones that's supposed to know what they're talking about, how they lied to you. I'm gonna show you the own mouth they lied to you. Now you might not. I don't believe what you're saying, Brother Bill. I just don't know. Okay. Let me pull this thing here up. Let me pull this thing up. Do this thing here. This one was my share. That was my scripture. God has not given us a spirit of fear. See, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and of a sound mind. He ain't give you no spirit of fear either. Okay. Now let me show you this. Let me show you some of the data. You want to see some of the data? Watch this right here. Let's listen at a little bit of this right here with some of the time they lied to us. Listen at this right here. Let me make sure this thing here playing.
Let's take a look at just a few of the COVID conspiracy theories that weren't. 10 times that media, health officials, or our very own president were proven to have lied about the coronavirus pandemic.
They're really criticizing science because I represent science. That's dangerous.
Experts in health.
You hear that? I want you to pay attention. Dr. Fauci say he represents science. So it's dangerous for you to criticize him because he represents science. Now, you know that's an arrogant statement straight out the gate. He represents science. Well, if he represents science, let me show you why you a fool to listen at this lying scientist. If he represents science and you doing what you doing, you wearing masks and taking shots because of what he said, you ignorant. I don't know how else to say it. You ignorant. You ignorant. let me show you why you ignorant. Because this man said he represents science. Now listen to how you all over the doggone map.
Health officials promised in March 2020 that we needed just 15 days
This was
to
the
slow the
scientists
spread. Now, almost 2 years later, we've seen almost 700 days of mandates, lockdowns, quarantines, shaming, hysteria, and travel restrictions with no stated end in sight. What do we have to look forward to? As of right now, more mandates.
Right now in the United States,
This was in
people
2020.
should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really
No.
closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
During
Whoa. Is that the man that represents science? Wait a minute, doctor. Didn't they tell us? Pull up some of the clips. Just pull up. CDC recommends mask wearing. Dr. Fauci recommends mask wearing. Just pull that up on YouTube and watch all the times you see where they tell you wear the mask, it'll protect you. It'll protect you. It'll protect you. It'll protect you. That's what the scientists told us. The one that represents science. What did he just not say? People shouldn't be walking around wearing masks. Dr. Fauci, tell that to the colleges in Georgia that just reinstituted mandatory mask wearing. Why are they instituting mandatory mask wearing? Matter of fact, why are they instituting mask wearing for people who've been fully vaccinated? Because they told us if you're fully vaccinated, there is no need for you to be wearing a mask. That's what the scientists told us. Brother, why I won't be participating in any lockdowns, mask wearing, or vaccines. Now, you can hear this, you can listen at this and say, well, I'm still going to do it because I just think it's the right thing to do. It's a good thing to do. More power to you. More power to you. They're lying. You know they're lying. And you still going to follow what they're saying? Well, all I can say is, if that's the case, you know they lying. You still gonna follow them and do what they say. You probably gonna end up getting what you deserve. For you to know folks lying to you, you know they lying to you. But you still gonna follow and do what they say anyway. Dr. Fauci said you don't need to be wearing no mask. So my question is, why are they bringing mask mandates back? If this is the science, Dr. Fauci represents science, what kind of confusion is that? Why are they bringing these mask mandates back? Now, I know he done left office. Thank God he out. Prayers, you should have fired him from day one. Why you keep this why you kept this idiot, this devil? Why did you do that? Prayers, you should have had if you had me as your advisor, Dr. Fauci would have been going the minute you say Brother Billy is one of my advisors. But Prayers, Fauci fired. Give him his papers right now. He out. What's the other lady? The other lady, I can't remember her name. Deborah, whatever her name was, out. You got to go. Fired. Out. Gone. Why Prayers kept this devil on his medical thing? I have no idea. But Fauci says you don't need to be wearing a mask. Now they're telling you they're bringing mask wearing mandates back. That's confused science to me. Listen. These are lies that they told us about the mask.
In the early days of the pandemic, the CDC recommended that Americans not wear face masks And the U.S. Surgeon General urged us to stop. The CDC said that all Americans should wear face coverings to avoid transmission of the virus, sparking culture wars over mask mandates across the country, heavy shaming of those who chose not to wear masks, videos of often violent confrontations between Americans. And that's not even touching the mask situation with children. Then, the CDC said in May that vaccinated Americans don't need to wear masks in almost any setting. And now, most media outlets are reporting that cloth masks just don't work and we should try N95s.
I just want to yes, no. You remember that? The CDC vaccinated Americans. If you fully vaccinated, that's what they said. I'm just telling you this is what they said. I'm not making nothing up. That's what the CDC said. That's what the science say. Vaccinated Americans don't need to wear masks. So why are they mandating mask wearing in colleges where a lot of these colleges have mandatory vaccination? So I'm kind of confused. You say if I'm fully vaccinated, I'm fully protected, and I don't need to wear a mask. Now you're telling me we got a new variant, we got this coming, we got this. You need to mask up, Brother Billy. But I thought I'm protected. Nah, you ain't protected. You ain't full. You know, you ain't protected. So what's going on? Brother Billy ain't making this stuff up. Is that not confusion from the science? Why are they misleading us? Why are they lying? Why are they talking out of both sides of their mouth? I don't care how you feel about what I'm saying. Set aside how you feel. If you took the shot, if you wear masks, just set all that aside and say, that man, you know, he is right. They talking out of both sides of their mouth. And the question is, why? That's all Brother Billy asking. Why? I'm not talking about whether you took the shot, whether you're going to wear the mask, whether that's your business. I'm talking about why I'm not going to do it. They talking out of both sides of their mouth. If somebody's talking out of both sides of their mouth, you know what that's called? That's called lying. Generally, people lie to cover up something. The question is, what are they hiding? What are they covering up? Why are they talking out of both sides of their mouth? Don't get mad at me. Ask why are they talking out of both sides of their mouth. You had them talking out of both sides of their mouth.
Oh, and was it this? I was trying.
Or was it this?
Very hard. Look.
Which one?
Joe Biden promised that he would not force Americans to be vaccinated.
Well, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
But this year, the Biden administration did exactly what Biden said they would not do and mandated that healthcare workers and U.S. companies with more than 100 employees must get vaccinated. The Supreme Court just blocked the Biden administration from enforcing the mandate on businesses and organizations.
Remember that?
But
do you remember this? See, this is some old stuff. But do you remember this? The president said, "I'm not going to enforce mandatory mask wearing nor mandatory vaccination on nobody. I don't think that's necessary. I'm not going to do it." That's what Joe Biden said. That's what the lying Joe Biden said. Y'all want to, President Trump is a liar, Okay, well, add Joe Biden to that camp too. Can you add Joe Biden there? And he's a bigger liar. He said he wasn't going to do it. And guess what he did? That liar turned right around and mandated mask wearing and vaccines on people. Made it mandatory for certain people that work in certain occupations that they had to. You're going to take this shot or you getting fired. That's what this devil did. This devil had the audacity to tell people, if you don't take this experimental shot, you getting fired. You're going to lose your job. You're not going to be able to pay your rent, your mortgage. You ain't going to be able to feed your family. And I don't care. Take this shot. and y'all call Trump a tyrant. You ignorant. I'm sorry. And Trump the tyrant. Trump is a tyrant. He's a tyrant. You've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You ever heard Trump tell people that? You ever? No, you didn't. But they done hoodwink you because they get you in a spirit of fear, get you in a frenzy. Then they feed you all kind of stuff and you just eat it up. That's why you believe all them lies about Trump, because they got you in a state of uncertainty. I don't know, fear. What's going on? Can't think, emotional. And they fed you all these lies. And God said, I have not given you a spirit of fear. Don't allow fear to control you. You're going to make irrational, illogical decisions if a spirit of fear controls you. That's what's going to happen. And that's what people doing right now. That's what they doing. They know now that they don't work. The evidence is out now that we in 2023, everything they've been telling you in 2020, now we know the mask don't work. The vaccine don't work. It don't work. It don't do what they said and what they pushed in 2020. It don't do it. And they bringing that back. And you know it don't work. And you still gonna succumb to what they talking about. That's why Brother Billy, why I won't be participating in any lockdowns, mask wearing, or vaccines that are on the way again. You do what you want to do. Brother Billy telling you why he ain't doing it. And if you having a function at your house, at your business, at the church, wherever, and you got the spirit of fear on you, that's you. And you only want people there who are masked up and gonna follow the CDC guideline and be masked up and boosted up. Don't invite me, because I ain't masking up and I ain't gonna get boosted up to come to your event. Not coming. I'll go to the event where we all unmask and we ain't got no boosters. I'll hang out with those folks then. Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna throw this in because these stuff gonna get me probably censored. Now I'm telling you. Do you know the data shows that this is what the data shows? You look this stuff up. The data actually shows that those who are, vaccine and boosted up are more likely to, guess what? Not avoid COVID. You're more likely to contract COVID. That is a scientific fact. Look it up. But that ain't what they told us. That ain't what they told us. You remember this? And I'm gonna move on. You remember Joe Biden said this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. That's what Joe Biden said. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. In other words, the people who are unvaccinated, they the one causing all this havoc. They the one causing this COVID to just run rampant like wildfire. Because they don't care about grandma. They don't care about their family. They don't care about their friends. They just selfish. They just this vaccine hesitancy and all this crazy stuff. Anti-vaxxers. Well, it turns out that the unvaccinated are more protected than those who are double and triple boosted. But that ain't what they said from the beginning. Mm-hmm. That ain't what they said. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna show you my last.
That healthcare workers who choose not to get vaccinated will still lose their jobs. And now that Americans are seeing that the vaccinations don't fully stop COVID, more and more questions are being asked about why Biden is mandating vaccines. Remember when we were all told that the coronavirus originated in a Chinese wet market? Republican Senator Tom Cotton was lambasted by the media for suggesting the coronavirus actually originated
they
in
lied
an
about where
infectious
it
disease
came
lab
from.
rather than an animal market, as the Chinese government claimed. Snopes called Cotton's
Why
claims
they do
speculative.
that?
The BBC called them unfounded. The Washington Post went so far as to say that the lab leak theory was debunked. After New York Magazine published an expose highlighting the legitimacy of the theory, many of those media outlets published stories confirming that yes, the coronavirus may have originated in a Wuhan lab. And now, we know that scientists consulting with the US government early in the pandemic believed that the coronavirus had originated in the lab. But Dr. Anthony Fauci worked to shut that hypothesis down.
The people who weaponize lies are killing people.
Activists, commentators, and teachers.
See that? That's enough. See that? See what the scientists say? Science, Dr. Fauci, they're weaponizing lies. You say you're weaponizing lies by saying that coronavirus originated in that lab in China, Wuhan, China. You weaponizing, you just lying. You know what you're talking about. But guess what? That's where it came from. That's what President Trump said from the beginning. But you can't believe nothing President Trump said. He's a racist, brother Billy. That man is a racist. He don't like black people. You show your ignorance. When you make statements like that, you show just how hoodwink and ignorant you are. You show how they got you. When you make statements like that, now you can say, I don't like the man and yada yada. I think he's just too bombastic. I think he just talk too much. I think he whatever. But don't make ignorant statements. Don't do that. Don't make ignorant statements like that. He's a racist. But he said that where that virus originated from. And guess what? Like I did a video on, Trump was right about a lot of things. Whether you like him or not, if you're honest and you're supposed to be a Christian that believes and follow the truth, don't you? You're a believer that follows and stand on the truth. See, I'm gonna bring it and set it right in your lap. You're a believer that follows and stands on the truth, right? So I don't care how you feel about the man. If the man is right about something, he right. If he wrong about something, he wrong. But when he right, as a man of truth, as a woman of truth, you got to swallow your pride and go with that and stand on that. Some of y'all can't do it. That's why you getting yourself in a dangerous predicament. Now let me show you this last clip, and I'm out of here. This is actually let me show you some of these countries that, you know, because they're about to bring these mask mandates back. And I want to show you some of these countries that did a lot of you know, studies on the mask mandates. Watch this right here. They did studies on the mask mandates. Now this on this thing I'm looking at, it's showing cameras on. This is Dr. Fauci. Cameras off. Look at Dr. Fauci. You wear that mask, but he ain't got it on. You know, well, how that saying go? Rules for thee, but not for me. See, you got to use some common sense. If this thing is as bad as they say it is, and as if it was, why didn't they abide by them rules and regulations that they put on you and me? Just ask yourself, this is why I'm not participating. Didn't Obama throw a party at his house or somewhere? Obama, the one you love so much. He threw a party at his house during the pandemic time. Obama did. But they told you don't even go to church. Don't sing. Don't go. They shut the churches down. And the pastors agreed with that. To shut down the church and go Zoom, go get on, or like I'm doing right now, scream, y'all. We ain't coming. We ain't showing up because there's a pandemic. But Obama been having a party at his house with hundreds of guests there, partying it up, dancing and getting down. But they tell you it's a pandemic and you can't go to church. You can't even, don't sing. Now there comes a time the preachers y'all know I'll be hard on them preachers. Preachers, why y'all? Those of you who did go for that. Now I know there are a lot of them that didn't go for it, but those of you who did, John MacArthur, he fought them jokers tooth and nail. Say what you want to say about John MacArthur, but he would not bend and bow to Baal. He didn't bend. He ain't shut his church down. He fought them jokers tooth and nail. There's some other preachers that fought tooth and nail and said, we're not bowing down. We going to stand on the word. Forget not the assembly of yourself together as a man of some art. That's what a lot of preachers been preaching before COVID showed up. After COVID, it's a pandemic. God give us common sense. People dying. People getting sick. That thing killing people. We going Zoom. We ain't going to meet today. We ain't having Bible study. Not at the church. We going to go online and just do video. That way we can be safe. Does that sound like God? That sound like God telling, when you know God to tell you to do something, because he wants you got to be safe. Don't go witness to her because I need you to be safe. Don't say that because you got to be safe. Because if you say that, they're going to be mad and they're going to want to fight. Don't preach that because I need you to be safe. When that ever sound like God? God ain't never telling you to do nothing because he wants you to be safe. God tell you to do stuff and be like, wait a minute, God, you about to get me killed. If I do that, that's the kind of stuff God tell you to do. He ain't trying to tell you to be no safe. He telling you to do stuff. You like, whoa, God. I want to see you, but I wasn't planning on seeing you today. You want me to come today? Because what you're telling me to do about to get me killed. But the preachers shut down the church. They shut it down. Shut it down. Listening at these liars. Rules for thee, but not for me. Obama throwing parties. Gavin Newsom going out. They've been doing all that. Script clubs been open up. Do you know that? They left the script. That was essential. The script clubs was open. People that sell the liquor and stuff, open up. Churches, non-essential. Got to shut them down. Y'all can't go up in there singing to no Lord and calling on no God and calling on Jesus and worshiping and coming together like the Bible say. Come together and worship and sing songs and hymns. You can't do that. It's a pandemic. And you got preachers that went along with that. You shouldn't be in no church that did that. That's just my opinion. Now it's coming again. You stay in a church that shut down, do all this again. Shame on you. That's all I can. Shame on you. Shame. That's a shame. Because I can tell you right now, that pastor ain't hearing from God. How can you say that, Brother Billy? Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. Is that the word or is that not the word of the living God? Yes or no? Is that what he said? Case is closed then. What are you going to tell me? well, maybe God, maybe no. God don't speak out of both sides of his mouth like we do. I will speak out of both sides of my mouth. God don't do that. He says what he means, and he means what he says. He is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Don't tell me, don't try to make God speak and talk and act like us. He ain't us. He already told us he ain't give us a spirit of fear. Case closed. So if you're operating in fear, just admit it and repent. And say, God, help me because I'm operating in fear. I'm scared. Don't change his word. Don't change the word. Okay, let me move on. That's the lying Dr. Fauci, who said he's science. He's science. He's a fake scientist. He's a lying scientist. Let me show you some of these, and I'm gonna get off of here. Some of these countries who did an extensive study on mask wearing, what they about to bring back right now. And this is again why Brother Billy ain't participating in them lockdowns, mask wearing, and vaccines. Because the lockdowns, they did studies on that. That wasn't good either. Suicide and everything went through the roof when they locked down people. Marriages breaking up, people getting abused in alcohol, all kind of stuff went through the roof. Now watch this. Australia, COVID-19 mask wearing. Germany mandated masks about half down its original recovery. Their cases are now similarly climbing quickly. These are people who mask down their citizens. And this is what they want us to do again. But the science say it don't work. Watch this. The French now have around 1,000% more daily cases they had when they mandated masks, despite having one of the highest mask compliance levels in the world. Now, this was done a couple of years ago. This study I'm showing you, this was done a few years ago. This was done a little while ago. But the French, at the time of this study, 1,000% more daily cases than they had when they mandated masks, despite having the highest mask compliance level in the world. In other words, they had a ton of people wearing masks, yet they had 1,000% more daily cases of COVID. Now, if that is the case, that means the masks don't work. What other conclusion can you come with? Listen, Spain was not far behind its French neighbor with a mandate. Spain required masks when cases were near zero. What? Listen at this. And has the highest compliance with mask wearing in all of Europe. Now Spain is at around 15% levels of cases compared to when it's mandated masks. You see the trend. The trend is they instituted mask wearing, mask mandates. Because why? Because Dr. Fauci, the CDC, Loretta, whatever that other, the CDC director, told us it works. It stops the spread. It protects you. It slows it down. All we're reading is after these mandates, the cases went through the roof. Now, I ain't no doctor. But if wearing the mask protects us, why did these cases go through the roof? In other words, why did people still catch COVID even at a higher percent after wearing masks? If it works in protecting you from catching COVID, that makes no sense. And why will people comply now if they know this data? Why would you comply? Why would you comply to that? Why would you willingly comply to that? Fear. Fear. That fear. Because the data does not line up with what they're saying. It just doesn't. Let's look at a couple more and we getting off here. Look at the UK. Belgium required masks shortly after the British did, and now possibly has the highest rate of cases in the world. Yo, this is data. This data. After the mandates, the cases went through the roof. One more, and I'm in one more. Let's just look at one more. One more. This is Italy. Similar results have been found in Ireland, Portugal, Israel, and many other countries. No matter, listen to this, no matter how strictly mask laws are enforced, nor the level of mask compliance, the population follows. Listen, cases all fall and rise around the same time. You hear that? That's what the data, that's what those people found when they did their investigation, when they did their tests. That's what they found. That the mask did not work. And Dr. Anthony Fauci told me, you don't know why people wearing masks. Masks has unintended consequences. People shouldn't be walking around with masks. That's what Dr. Fauci said. You shouldn't be walking around with a mask on. It has unintended consequences because you start rubbing it and touching it and rubbing your face. That's what he said. Now they about to lock folks back down and reinstitute mask wearing and vaccines. That's what's coming again for the 2024 election. That's one of the reasons. All right, brothers and sisters. Brother Billy wanted to share with you real quick why he won't be participating in them lockdowns, mask wearing, and vaccines. Not going to do it. And I'm closing. Don't look at me when they start getting crazy out here with locking this stuff down and wearing all these masks, and don't look at me crazy. Don't look at me crazy. Because I'm gonna look right back at you crazy. Yeah, don't. If you wanna double mask, triple mask, if you want to put a boxer mask on your face, do you. But don't be looking at me crazy because I choose not to. Now you looking at me like it's like something wrong with me. Don't do that. Because if you do that, you're gonna trigger something in Brother Billy. Brother Billy might address you. Because I'm not gonna say nothing to you for wearing your mask. Don't say nothing to me if I choose not to wear one. Ain't that fair and reasonable? Don't say nothing to me because I choose not to wear one. I ain't gonna say nothing to you if you choose to wear one. Now, if you want to have a dialogue, we can have a civil dialogue, and I'll tell you why I choose not to do it. Because it don't work. First and foremost, it don't work. And it reminds me that I'm walking in fear. Yeah. It reminds me that there's something I need to be afraid of. That alone, that's enough right there to be like, I'm having something constantly reminding me, telling me, you need to be in fear. You need to be in fear. You need to be afraid. You need to be afraid. When God told me, no, you don't. I'm not giving you a spirit of fear. You need to be afraid. That's a problem. That's a problem. But do you? Okay. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all be blessed. I ain't know if y'all had comments or not on you because I can't see them. I don't know what happened. What's going on with the comments? but I'm not able to see no comments. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. But thank y'all for watching. Y'all be blessed. And Brother Billy, I'll see you again the next time. Thank y'all for watching. God bless you. Why I won't be participating in any lockdown, mask wearing, or vaccines that are on the way. And if you knew the truth, you wouldn't either. God bless you.